Welcome one and all, Nyanko here, and today I'm doing another manga review, and today we will be reviewing A Silent Voice, because it is one of my all-time favourites, and I also want to talk about some of the differences as well between the manga and the movie adaptation. Not that either is bad, absolutely adored the movie, and the movie is actually what got me into the manga. So yeah, we'll be talking about that today, and my views and opinions on it, basically. So first off, we'll have a look at the artwork in the box. Now, I got the special edition. Now, I got this last year for Christmas, and I've taken super good care of it because it is amazing and I absolutely adore it. So this one came with the little book, the communications notebook that Shoko, sorry, I'm getting the two main characters mixed up already, uses to write in. So yeah, it says stuff like what she says when she says hello, you know, my name is Shoko Nishimiya, it is nice to meet you. You know, I would like to get to know everyone through this notebook, which I thought was really, really cool that they'd actually included something like this. Now at the end, it also includes a little bit of the first manga chapter for To Your Eternity, which is the new series that's just come out by the same author, and I am actually super hyped to get to read that and also watch the anime adaptation of it, which I might do a video on in the future. I don't know yet, we will see. But yeah, I think that's a really cute little added extra in there. If you've also got the box set, you'll probably know yourself what comes in it, but if you don't, then you know, it's a little bit of a review. It also came with a poster for To Your Eternity. Technical errors. So yeah, it comes with a poster for either To Your Eternity, or you can have it as Shoko and her sister at the festival, which I think is really cute. I don't put it up on the wall though because I want to keep it safe. I think it's really, really pretty. Yep. Now on to the volume covers. So volume 1 is them as kids, which, you know, that's what most of the first volume covers anyway. I think it's really cute, and I actually think they did quite a good job of translating the art style from the manga into the movie. I don't know what you guys think, but I personally was quite hyped when I started reading the manga and the artwork was almost identical. I thought it was really, really good. Yeah. Volume 2 is after they meet under the sakura blossoms at the school. Again, super pretty. Absolutely love this one. I think it's actually one of my favourites of the front covers. Here's them in volume 3, which is them on the train when they're going to go and meet the friend that they haven't seen since elementary school, which I think is cool. Them at number 4 is them at the roundabout fair. No, theme park. There we go, English. Yeah, which again is super cool. Oh, you still chewing back there? Sorry, my puppy's loose and she's having a snack on her bone. You may see her in the background, I'm not sure, we'll see. So yeah, number 4. Number 5 is when they go to the festival, which I think Shoko's kimono looks absolutely gorgeous there. Absolutely love yukata and kimonos. I wish they were more like available in the West because they're just beautiful, and the colours and the textiles and sometimes the patterns are just breathtaking. Beats some of the clothes we wear by a mile. So yeah, 5. Then we have 6, which is after the whole incident at the festival, and poor Shoko is by herself because we don't know what's going to happen to Shoya. Which I think you can just feel the emotion in the cover on this one. It's absolutely gorgeous, you know, absolutely. Like, kudos to the artist for this. It was absolutely, like, it's amazing, you know, definitely shows their range of ability with their artworks. And then the last one, volume 7, it's only a short manga, is them at the school festival, also the film festival. So yeah, we will, now that we've looked at the front of it, oh yeah, I hadn't noticed on the back there was a load of stuff with everybody too. Yeah, So all the covers are really good. Oh, what's wrong, baby? Maple, come here. What's wrong, baby? Oh, you want to come say hello? This is Maple, everybody. Don't lick my makeup, it's not good for you. This is Maple. Yeah, say hello. Say hello. She's a very, very happy, hyper puppy. She doesn't like it when I record too much because it means she doesn't have all the attention on her, and she is the centre star of the world, aren't you, Maple Cakes? Don't chew my earphones, silly Billy. Okay, so now that we've met Maple, back onto the review. I'm sorry about that. She does like to be centre of attention, but no, she needs to go to the bathroom. So. Yeah, so back to Silent Voice. Now, where to even begin? I absolutely adore the fact that it shows just because you're ignorant about something as a child and then maybe say bully someone for not understanding their full circumstances, you can still see the light of your ways and become a good person and truly repent. I love that undertone in the series. Now, and I think it does a very good depiction of suicide as well, and how feeling excluded and past regrets can drive people to feel like there's absolutely no way out and that the world would be better off if they just left, which I think a lot of people deal with and struggle with. Personally, I used to feel like that a lot when I was younger. I lived in a foreign country, didn't speak the language, didn't have many friends, and for a while I did feel very depressed and quite suicidal at times. So it's really nice to me to see. No, I was okay. So I was the one being bullied where I used to live, which is what caused my depression. So I was more on the Shoko end of the spectrum, but I also sympathise and love Shoya because yes, he's a bit of a shithead when he's a kid. He's not a nice person. He sees Shirka as basically something to amuse him because she's different and she's strange. And that, you know, stigma around it finally bites him in the ass because when everyone tries to make him the scapegoat for the bullying, he won't take it. He's like, "Oi, hang on a minute. If you should go down as well as me because you were bullying just as much." And then everyone turns on him and then he becomes bullied and he doesn't realise that Shoko is desperately trying to help him and protect him from the same level of bullying that she was, you know, subjected to, and he doesn't realise that until it's too late. And then that leads him to realise as well the error of his ways after she transfers out. And as well, it doesn't help that then the kids that turned against him continue turning against him in his new school when he moves into middle school. And it's just like a perpetual cycle. And I found that very refreshing to see that they didn't shy away from, look, yeah, he was horrible as a kid, but like, did he deserve this level of horridness done back to him? Now, a lot of people do say it is karma, and I do agree. Karma will come back and bite you in the butt a lot of the time. So that was refreshing to see, because normally it's just, here's the bully character, he's never going to change his ways, and here's the main character and she's going to have to overcome it, or he's going to have to overcome it and, you know, just deal with it kind of thing. And I like absolutely adore, actually, like, is too weak a word, the way that they show his repentance. You know, Shoya learns sign language, he tries to repent, he tries to apologise, you know. He goes to Shoko and is like, I am so sorry for what I did to you, you know. I am honest to God repenting, you know. And then he does plan to go and kill himself that night. That's the whole reason behind his apology. And then, you know, his mind changes, you know. He realises that maybe he shouldn't kill himself because he still hasn't fully made it his wrongs right with the person that he, you know, grievously wronged. And then that leads into the story of him trying to do his best to apologise to Shoko and, you know, start moving forward and becoming a better human being. which is a great storyline. Now, one of the things that I was a little bit sad that they dropped from the movie, but that is in the manga, is the movie that they're actually making. So the main reason why they all get together and start, hanging out is because Yasha and I can never remember his name, the one with the curly hair. I probably put his name up there in the editing. Decide to make a movie. They become friends, and that's the first friend he's made since he left elementary school. And he's a huge film buff, and they start making a film. And then that's how they get involved with everybody else, is they start bringing people in for like acting and costume design and like writing and producing. And I feel like maybe it wasn't needed in the film, but I just personally thought it was a really nice touch, and that's the thing, that was the catalyst that brought them all together. But they left it out of the movie, which I thought was sad. Another thing they leave out of the movie that I think is quite sad is the backstory with their mum. So Shoko's mum. Get them confused. So many names, so similar. Shoko's mum. You learn more about why she is so hardened, and you also see some of Shoko's dad as well, and you see what transpired and why he left and why he's not in it, and it also shapes the mum and why she's as hard as she is, and it also explains why the grandma's death hits the mum quite as hard as it does, which I wish they'd have kept that in the movie. I think that would have really, made the grandma's death feel that extra bit heartbreaking. I mean, it's already heartbreaking as it is, but I just feel like the backstory behind, the grandma backing up the mum over Shoko's deafness against the father and his family, and how she's like, look, don't worry about it, I'll have your back, and then you also learn that she didn't realise she was pregnant with the younger sister at the time when the dad left, and so she realises, I'm going to have to do this with 2 kids on my own, and one of those kids is hearing impaired. Now in Japan, disabilities seem to be a huge no-go. Probably, like as you see, the teacher is just awful as well, and he kind of lets the bullying happen to Shoko because he just doesn't want to deal with the deaf kid, and that to me is awful. But it is something that is still widely stigmatized in society, even over here in the West. If you're blind or you're deaf, a lot of people they'll avoid you, or they won't take the time to bother with you, and it was quite interesting to see that aspect as well, because normally some manga and anime do show the dark, seedier side of like Japan and Japanese culture, but they don't usually do it so, like, they don't normally bring disabilities into it, and that was something I found really uplifting. Was just, this author was like, I want to write this story, and I am going to tell this story about this deaf kid, and this guy who learns to accept and love her for who she is. And again, the mum, I think, struggled with that for a long time, because I think as much as she loves Shoko, I think she's still slightly resentful that she got left with the burden of having to, raise her and deal with all the costs of, the hearing aids and the appointments and everything like that. So I think in a sense that might have also been a little bit of why she doesn't learn sign language, and why she doesn't, fully accept her daughter. Now, she does everything right and she loves her kid, you can tell that, but you can also see that there is a bit of resentment. Now, I know she says that she's going to do this because she needs to teach Shoko that not everyone in the world is going to cater for her, which is one thing. Yeah, there are going to be people in the world that won't, cater for your disabilities, or they're just going to be like, yeah, whatever kind of thing, not my problem. So I can understand it from that aspect, but like, this is your kid. You do everything to make your kid feel welcome and loved in your home. And like, even the grandma goes out of her way to learn sign language. So that's kind of like one point against the mum in my book, is just, wouldn't have taken much to even just learn a small handful of signs to be like, put this away or do this, Shoko, so that Shoko didn't feel quite as ostracized in her own home. But yeah, that's like the only, I'd say, down point against the mum. Well, that, and she's just constantly holding things against Shoya, you know. Shoko is like, yeah, he's repented, he's seen the way, he's being nice, and the mum's just like, no, you know, not after what he did, I won't trust him, never again. And she's like, she full on slaps him several times, and she's the one in the manga that throws the old school notebook into the pond. So then they jump in after it, whereas in the movie, she's not in that scene at all. It's just that it falls in and they both jump in after it. Whereas in the manga, it's the mum. She's like, you don't need this. This is in the past, and like yeets it into the water. To which Shoko's like, no, he gave it back to me. This is memories for me, even though they weren't particularly good memories. And she like dives in. So then Shoya dives in after her and is like, no, don't do that, which then leads to him getting suspended. Again, that's also something that with them leaving out the movie, I know Shoko still goes around and she tries to bring everyone back together because she feels like she broke something for Shoya. Whereas in the movie, what she does, it's not in the movie, but in the manga, what she does is she goes to everybody and tries to bring them back together so that they can finish the movie, because she feels like if they finish the movie and they get it to the festival that they were planning to have it released for, Shoya will wake up. And that's her reasoning behind it. She's like, yes, he will wake up if we finish this movie, which is, in my book, really sweet. And I mean, she puts herself through way more hell to get this movie made, because it was a big thing for Shoya, and she's in love with him. And yeah, it's just so sweet. I love it so much. I love the manga. I love the movie as well. Like, they're both beautiful. I just wish maybe they hadn't have cut out those few small things. Something else that is like in the manga, when Shoya's asleep. Now, he does have that dream of the kids and Shoya and Shoko, and all the kids like being together and having like a proper childhood if they'd have just listened and communicated better. Now in the manga, it's shown as in he was seeing everything through her eyes, not really hearing properly and not being able to fully understand. And I thought that was also really nice, you know, seeing it from her shoes. And he's like, oh, this is what it must have been like for her. There is one thing that I wish with all my heart that they would have kept in the movie. Now, I know they didn't keep it in because it goes along with their making a film storyline, but Miki's boyfriend, what's his name? The one who also becomes friends with Shoya. I'm really bad with names. I just read the manga and like love the characters, but I rarely remember names. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the one who's dating Miki, who looks like he's like a thug, but really isn't. He's actually really nice. Him and Shoya go to their old elementary school to try and get permission to film there, because Afro dude is like, yeah, we need to film here. This has to be in the movie, kind of thing. So they go, and the old primary school, like the old elementary school homeroom teacher is still there. Okay, steal my slipper. And they're asking for his permission, and he's about to give it, and then he says something about Shoko and about how she like dragged the class down and like she was a burden, and he's basically really, really horrible. And Miki's boyfriend, again, I'll probably put his name there, he goes and throws a drink over this teacher and is like, F you, basically. There's nothing wrong with Shoko, and they leave, and then they don't get permission, but he's like, no, I don't tolerate bullies, you know, I used to be that kid that got bullied. Now, they do keep in his anti-bullying policies in the movie, but I just thought that the teacher getting his comeuppance by having, you know, water thrown in his face would have been a great addition, and it was so funny, and it was just like a yes moment. You were like, eat that, you little dickwad. Ooh, I probably shouldn't call people that, you know, niceness and tolerance and everything, but I really didn't like that teacher. he was so mean, and he wasn't a good teacher to, you know, Shoko. She deserved someone that would, you know, help her flourish in that sense, you know, really, because she's not dumb, you know, she's smart, she's bright, and with and I know with the second school she goes to, she flourishes really well. But I just wish we'd have seen more of that in the elementary school. That would have been nice. If someone had stood up and put the teacher in his place, you know, that would have been better. But I mean, he gets put in his place eventually, so woo for the manga, points. Yeah, so another thing that they leave out, again, it's because they dropped the movie, but when Shoya wakes up, he goes to the school and he watches the movie that they've finished and they've put in to the film festival. Now, they made it black and white with like an old noir movie where there's no sound, and when they speak, next frame, what they said comes up, so that Shoko can be included and that people who are deaf can also enjoy the movie. And I thought that was absolutely just so heartwarming, that he was like, yeah, this is my movie and I can do whatever I want with this movie. And then he's like, but I'm going to make sure that I include Shoko so that she can enjoy it and see all of her hard work that goes into it as well. That for me was just, yes, you know, we need more like that. Now, I know closed captions are available on everything these days, so it's a big step, you know, and like the deaf community has a lot more, you know, of a voice and has a lot more in place for them. Now, I know they don't put subtitles on in movies in the cinemas, which I think is a big issue for the deaf community. I wouldn't know, I'm not deaf myself, but do they do special screenings in cinemas for people who are hard of hearing with like subtitles on? Like, if you know, let me know in the comments below. That would be great, because you know, it is a subject that I'm really passionate about and I want to learn more on. You know, I'm also wanting to start to learn sign language, so that I can, even just a few like little hand signals, so that I can just, maybe if someone's deaf and they're stuck and they need help, I could help them out sometime. So I might do a video on me learning sign language in the future as well. So yeah, comment below if you know if cinemas anywhere do like special screenings for people who are hard of hearing or not. That would be great to know. You know, just build awareness, you know. The only way we build awareness is by talking about it. But yeah, so overall I'd say A Silent Voice, 10 out of 10 for the manga. And the movie as well, if you're watching it without any input from the manga, 10 out of 10 as well. Now, if you've read the manga, I'd say the movie drops down to like a 9 out of 10, but like it's not a big decrease, so it's really good still. I'd recommend everybody pick it up and read it, whether you rent it, buy it yourself from like Book Depository or Amazon. That would be great as well. You know, we got to support those mangakas so that they can keep bringing out stellar content for it to keep us entertained. And yeah, like this video if, you know, what I've said resonates with you. You know, comments in the comment section below would be great too. And subscribe if you want to see more of this content. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao!